Okay, gamers and gamettes, what is going on? My name is Keith Sworn, and some of you may know me as Tenek127 Gaming, and welcome back to another video. And guys, in today's video, I actually want to talk to y'all about Duskbloods. However, if y'all want to stay up to date on all things Duskbloods, make sure you are liking today's video, subscribing to the channel if you are new, and let's go ahead and get on into today's subject. So, obviously, I'm using the Elden Ring Nightreign footage in the background because I didn't want to make a video, where I just replay the Duskbloods trailer over and over and stuff like that, because we really don't have much on this game right now. We have their Twitter handle, which has announced literally just the trailer and that the game's going to be coming in 2026. It's a Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive. Other than that, we really don't know too much about it besides, the little bits of gameplay we see in the trailer and, a few minor details that the developers have given us. However, from those details, we do know the kind of game that it's going to be. It's going to be a multiplayer-focused title, and we do have one game from FromSoft that actually works in that same way. And a lot of people have speculated, that Nightreign is kind of like, a test run for FromSoft, to start doing more multiplayer-focused things and stuff like that. And just so y'all know, the developers have came out in an interview and they've made it very clear that their bread and butter is always going to be, giant single-player experiences. Stuff like Dark Souls, Elden Ring, Bloodborne, Demon's Souls, the things that they have always done. So, don't get afraid. Don't be like, oh, they're going to go hardcore multiplayer and live service. No. FromSoft is FromSoft. Trust and believe that. If you don't know that by now, then you're crazy. However, I have to admit, even myself, who was a skeptic of Nightreign, because I'm going to tell you guys something about me that I've made pretty clear on this channel. I'm not too crazy about roguelites. There's only a few roguelite games out there that I really like. And when I saw Nightreign, I was excited at first, and I learned what it was, and my excitement died, because I learned that, it was going to be a roguelite. Despite the multiplayer elements and stuff like that, I still do have my gripes with Nightreign. However, when after I finally got to play, get to know the game a little bit more, start playing it more with my buds and stuff like that, I started thinking probably the same thing that a lot of you are thinking who play this game hardcore now. Yeah, it ain't so bad, is it? And I'll be straight up, I'm in that camp. Nightreign grew on me. I enjoy it playing with my friends. I have probably, over 50 or 60 hours in this game by now, and I play it a ton with my boys. It is a really fun time. And if Duskbloods is going to be an experience, similar to this in some way, I am really okay with that. If you're going to give me, something that's like Nightreign, but not a roguelite, and in a Bloodborne-looking universe, ooh, baby. Oh, and it's exclusive on Switch 2? Oh, sign me up. I know the Switch 2 exclusivity might turn some people off, and, that's just what it is. But look, here's what I say about it at the end of the day. And I'm not even going to, to come at anybody. I'm not even trying to come at anybody, but no, nobody was that mad when Bloodborne was a PlayStation exclusive. All right, so let's all keep that. Let's all keep that in mind, before we start screaming at FromSoft and Nintendo. Oh, Duskbloods is a Switch 2 exclusive. All right, well, y'all weren't too pissed off when PS4 did the same thing a generation ago. I'm just saying, keep that in mind. But what the point is, what I'm saying here is, Nightreign has shown that FromSoft know what they're doing when it comes to their games and, the kind of experiences that they want to deliver to their fans. Because, when people saw Nightreign, they were worried about, the constant updates. They were worried about the live service thing. They were worried about being a roguelite, not the typical Elden Ring experience. And it's a hit. Everyone loves it. It still delivers, that hard, difficult, Souls-like gameplay that their games are known for. It just has a multiplayer element to it and a different style. It's not, the typical single-player game. Now, like I said, guys, don't get me wrong. Like I said at the end of the day, I'm not crazy about roguelites. I like my permanent progression style games. All right, that's why I don't like seasonal play in ARPGs. All right, you'll never catch me playing seasons on Diablo or Path of Exile because I like my permanent progression, and that's my beef with roguelites. Roguelites are the biggest culprit of this. Okay. They're worse than seasons. You start your progression over every run you do in these games. But I'm just saying that, you know, they surprised us, all right? And I feel like, you know, when Duskbloods finally gets here, they're going to surprise us and, you know, just show us once more what they're capable of. And, you know, I've seen a lot of, you know, like multiplayer focused dungeon crawler, action RPG style types of games and stuff like that. Like, and what if, you know, Duskbloods is like that? What if it's more so a multiplayer dungeon crawler instead of a roguelite with, you know, with PvP elements and stuff like that. We don't know what Duskbloods is going to be. And I just feel like, you know, since they really surprised us with Nightreign, we are in for one hell of a fun time when it comes to Duskbloods. And guys, after what I've played with Nightreign, I could not be more excited. But anyway, let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. Y'all enjoyed today's video? Smash that like. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out. Have a good one.